another Trade Earthmovers heavy machinery review. We've never done a roller before, but today we've decided that we're going to have a look at these padfoot vibratory rollers. We've picked the Sakai, which is made in Japan, in a city called Sakai, just out of Osaka. They developed the first roller in Japan almost 100 years ago. So you'd think that 100 years ago in the roller game, that you'd know something about rollers. Come on with us, we're going to rob in the cab, give it a bit of a workout. Well, there are a few things that you need to check out when you're hiring or buying a used piece of equipment. We've got our rubber shock absorbers which are in here. Just make sure that all the bolts in here are tightened up and that there are no visual rips or tears in them, because that impacts on the quality of production that you'll get out of your roller. The other thing is your pads. Now this particular roller here, this runs about 140 of these steel pads, and they run around about 100 mil high, which means that it gives you plenty of penetration in your material that you're going to be compacting. Make sure that these aren't all worn down and tend to sort of round off a bit where they've been flogged to death on rock. This particular one, spot on. Good ones, Compaction Australia, done well. As we move along here, if you're looking to buy one, also check your oscillation joints, your pins and bushes in your rams. Make sure you've got no leaks, in physical leaks that you can see, visual leaks that you can see in it anyway. You know, here we've got a 50 litre hydraulic tank, perfectly located. Nice little sight gauge here, easy to see, easy to read, easy to fill. That's the other good thing about it. We've got the 250 litre fuel tank all locked inside the back here, which also forms part of the counterweight over the rear drive tyres. This particular roller is drum drive and rear wheel drive, absolutely perfect for what we needed up here. Once you've got the bonnet up, everything is so easy and accessible. There's not an issue with any of this. Starter motor's right up on here, the alternator's nice and high, nice clean engine, although it's been worked for a little bit now, the last couple of days. This here, they're just on the other side, we've got the fuel and oil filters, absolutely perfect. Nicely located, arm height, shoulder height, elbow height, sorry, and any fitter that needed to do any work or just a quick service on it, not a problem at all. And of course, the proverbial tow hitch, because anyone who's been in the industry knows darn well that when you start working rollers, you're going to have to tow the darn things out more than once while ever the roller's on the job. You know, if you're hiring one or if you're buying one, you know, these are fairly expensive. You just need to go around and just double check, not only here, but check on the inside. That tends to get overlooked a lot. Turn the wheel, just have somebody monitor it as it's walking backward and forward, and just check the insides. Sometimes you'll find the guts is torn out of the side of these. You're going to get very minimal life and wear out of them. Compared or in relation to some of the new machines where they'll have their radiator at the rear of the roller, of course it'll pick up dust. You're always going to have an issue if it's sitting back there. But with the Sakai, they've run their radiator right up behind the cab here. The beauty of it is, of course, is that it's the area of the roller which is most minimal exposure to dust. Well, here we are, we're in the cab, and you know, for 2012 model, you know, although basic, it's pretty well laid out. Of course, with a roller, the first thing you've got to have is good vision, which is perfect here. We've got the other thing, which my preference is, we've got an aftermarket air conditioner in here, but that's fine. Just you need to have that air conditioning, especially in Queensland through those summer months. Dash, easily laid out. A simple little air conditioner control and park release button here, clearly identified on the dash. We've got low and high speed. We've got your lights. This is all on the lay down dash just in front of me here. We've got a tacho, temperature gauge and fuel gauge, which are laid out in the front in a monitor, maybe around about 300 wide or something similar. Over on the left hand side we've got our compactor or our vibratory controls, you know, and our spray. Also what we've got here is that we've got a security cover which folds down over the front, clears that, but whenever you're in an area that you may find vandalism is an issue, that cover comes straight over the top of the gauges. It's got the locks on it and you can lock it, and that secures all of that. So they've got their bases covered there. I find that with this little machine, It's just my opinion. I think the mirrors, although they're perfectly located on the left and right hand side, and you can get good vision, I don't think they're big enough. I'd like to see them a domed mirror here so that you can actually see a little bit further out to the left or right hand side when reversing. Other than that, pretty basic in the cab, although I'll tell you what, I ran it for a couple of hours. This seat, oh God, it's not much good for old blokes, I can tell you now. It knocks your back around a bit. Your machine's got a better air seat. This one here is pretty basic. We've given this nice little roller a run, 13 tonne dead weight. Multiply it by a factor of 3 when you've got the vibrator running. That gives you just on 40 tonne of compaction running into the ground from this padfoot wheel. Compaction Australia, they've been grateful in them lending us the machine for this review. 1400 hours on the clock, and tidy. It's tidy as. Does everything that we needed here. This job that we had a look at over here is not conventional, as in a roadworks job or an earthworks dam construction or anything like that. What we needed out here at our review centre was that, as you can see, the hills here are fairly rough, and to get our access tracks in, pretty rocky, we just needed something that could come in, thump the rock down for us so that we didn't have to continue to do a rock pick, because when we go and sheet them, we didn't want the big rock sticking out. Nice little tractor, done well. Sakai, thumbs up. Hope you've enjoyed it.